Go ahead and get started and call the September 2023 Greenup City Council meeting to order with roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Steve Brenham,
Here.
John Norman,
Here.
Bruce Mance,
Here.
Jaretha Hill,
Here.
Jamie Gillum.
Here.
We'll go to the audience first, and I'll remind people that are speaking, we respectively request try to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Josh Crider. If you don't care, go ahead and step up front here.
I'm more here to ask a question. I know here to come for the city water, talk about that, or?
Sure, what kind of question you got?
First, I want to give you props for getting the water going in Siloam. We're trying to get all that tied in. Parents are going, it's going to affect them greatly, even affect us if we got property down that way.
Uh-huh.
But, did have a couple questions about the letter that got sent out, I guess, last month.
Sure.
I guess a lot of people ain't getting that letter. And how the rate was going up for certain people out in the county and in the city limits is gonna go up, but it was going up one rate, but out in the county it's going up higher. I never got it. I know a couple other people didn't get it. I didn't find out about it until like 2 days ago. My dad got one of them, and he came in today to file for the deed for the water tap in Siloam. Yeah, and they told him to come tonight and talk about the rates going up.
Right.
Basically, just wanted to try to figure out how the conclusion came that people out in the county is gonna cost more than people in the city limits.
Well, there's more of an expense to get the water to the people out in the county than there is to the people inside the city limits.
Okay.
Due to electric pump stations, tank maintenance, division of water requirements, things of that nature. It just comes down to, it's just more of an expense to pump it to, let's say, Big Wide than it is to East Main Street.
I understand.
So with electric and the cost of chemicals, trucks, maintenance, employees, wages, health insurance, benefits, everything. I mean, it all figures into it. It's just
Now,
a cost of doing business.
That's what I was mainly wondering, just the background on it, 'cause I think the people that are getting this letter ain't gonna see all that. Like I said, and if the people did get it or didn't get it, like I said, I know several people I've talked to haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And that was my big thing, 'cause I never got one. And when my dad was talking to me about it, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, we mailed out 5,500, I think it was, something like that, so. Now hopefully, hopefully, over the next couple of years, we'll be able to get some funding for our new water plant, and maybe some of those raises won't have to come into play.
Well, that was gonna be my next question, if that's being pursued. I
Very
hope
much so,
'Cause this is my first time coming to anything like this.
very much so.
But, 'cause I know it seems like we're getting all kinds of grant money for the county and other areas. That's, in my opinion, debatable, but, I'd like to see that maybe be pursued, 'cause I know
It's
there's a
been-
lot of people that's gonna,
It's being pursued heavily.
well, with the fixed incomes and everything, it's gonna affect them pretty hard.
Yep.
Especially over, what is it, the next 5 years going up,
Be the next 3.
or 3?
Yep.
Yeah, so, but that was the main questions I was wanting to ask. And also, in South Shore, the water's going in down there. Is that going up Morning View Road there? Like back-
Morning Point?
Yeah, it's back this side before you get to Siloam.
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, and the next question is to file for the water tap and all that. Does that just bring the deed in? And,
Yeah, all thing you do is come in, we got some paperwork in here for you to sign up, showing that you own the property,
okay,
and put down your deposit,
okay.
and, as Steve Calder comes through, he'll put the tap in.
I'll be in tomorrow for that.
All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Mr. Black.
Those, we got our kids, 16-year-olds in this whole county driving. And in Fair Week, you can't get home, you can't get out. We gotta do something about the parking. I mean, we're getting too many people within our little area where you can't do nothing. He can't get out, I can't get out. You can't even go out and sit on the porch and enjoy it. We need something done about this.
The fair?
Not necessarily fair, but just someplace to park them. I mean, my gosh, that little area up there just ain't big enough.
It would be my recommendation probably to attend a fair board meeting or go to the physical court meeting. The fair board operates under the blanket of the physical court, so.
But it's a residential area that falls under the city.
Yeah, but it's all controlled by your county government.
but they're within the city limits, so they have to operate so the city operates.
Well, it's up
So
to
that's up to you guys to see what the solution to this is.
these 6 people here. If they've got a solution, then
I don't know how there is a solution for it, to be honest with you. I live right across the street
I
from
know
it,
where
right
you-
up from you, and it's a wonderful week. It's great for the county.
You know, 1 or 2 days ain't bad, but all week, man, it's pitiful. It's pitiful all week.
Oh, I know, I'm right there with you. It's, if we could come up with something, but finding a good solution or a workable solution, than just having a large field at our disposal that we could park people. I mean, finding a place and making that happen is tough.
You know, that all sounds good, find a place, but what are we supposed to do till y'all find a place?
I don't know if there is a place in Greenup,
Yeah, that's,
to be honest with you. The only piece of property that I know of that they could even consent, because I've dropped about it for years. I like the fair. My kids love the fair. And it's great for the city that it brings in business. The only piece of property, because we've talked about it in the past, is that lot behind you.
Well, it's full.
And
They fill it up.
it's filled immediately.
It's
The
filled.
piece of property that I guess sits behind it, that the fairgrounds possesses it,
It's full.
fills up. Friday and Saturday, I don't know if there would be a solution, because there's people parking all the way up at the old Movie Mania building and walking down.
There was people parked, down at Christian Church
Yeah.
walking up.
It's the place to be on Friday and Saturday, lawnmower races. But I don't know how, I wouldn't know how to solve the problem.
People even parked over at Applegate and walked across
Yep.
tracks.
It's the same thing for fireworks.
Yeah.
When everybody comes into town for the fireworks, there's just
That's
not.
one day though, that's just one day.
Yeah, I know.
This is all week.
It's just hard to. There's just not a place for them to park. So
In fairgrounds, it's landlocked. There's
Yeah.
no expansion ever. There's no.
no. So
It's obvious you've thought a lot about this and suffered from it. Have you got any idea, like an idea?
No, I don't, but I'd like to come home, sit on the porch and
Yeah.
that put us dust, well, it's dusty this year, it's usually muddy. So if we catch it all and everybody goes home and we gotta clean up. I don't have an idea. I don't, but something's gotta be done.
Well, I did notice the other day, like somebody mentioned it, Applegate's was packed.
Yeah.
I thought, boy, they're having a lot of business, and I thought, no, that's going to walking across the tracks to get to the fair.
yeah, they walk right through Frida Harmon's property.
And then Judy's down there.
Yeah. So
About 5 o'clock Saturday night, there was no more parking. They started turning people away. They said, we don't have parking, we don't have any parking. I don't know what to tell you, and this, you'll have to.
Well, my yard's full and Hurley's yard was full. I don't know about Jamie's down there.
I had several in my
But
front
our
yard.
yard was full.
Well,
by
my
5
yard was
o'clock.
full, and I'm all the way down by the Baptist church.
mine.
Yeah, but see,
So,
Mine was
we
full.
clean up the mess when they leave, you guys just go home. There's a little mess down there, I don't take it the wrong way, but we've got everything from dirty diapers to who knows what, we gotta clean up after these people leave.
Might be able to approach the fair board about sending someone to clean up the mess.
That's what I was gonna say. Who cleans up the fair after everybody leaves? Who cleans that area up?
yeah, this year they had the people from the jail. They had the prisoners out there cleaning up.
it was discussed this morning in the physical court meeting that solid waste director, I think he said 7 tons of garbage was picked up by Sunday evening, and by Tuesday, you couldn't tell that anything had even gone on up there.
Yeah, they cleaned it up. They cleaned the actual fairgrounds very nice. So
Well, could they not clean maybe on
Yeah.
down the street?
Maybe we could get them to,
Expand
they
the
could
area?
spread it out a little bit. you know.
Just
If
talk
you
to Larry
rope- if you
Pancake.
rope off your property and I rope off my property, they ain't got no place to park.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Could
Yeah.
you all rope off your property?
they tear it down. I've put signs up. I've put rope up. I just gave up. My first year living on East Main, I pulled in and I had people that had pulled up to my porch.
If you pull your driveway, somebody
Yeah.
else pulls in.
Yeah. So and it's just kind of unless you're sitting out there for the entire day and telling people no, and then at one point you start feeling bad when people that are 9 months pregnant and about ready to pop, and they say, "Can I please park here?" And you're like, "I ain't gonna tell you no because you might have a baby walking across this street." Sure, I usually let them park. My yard's like your all's, catacombed of cars everywhere, and we just get the golf cart out if we're hungry. So.
Well, it's pretty bad you can't get out of your own place, and evidently they wouldn't pay attention to any signs.
No, they just tear them down and run over them.
Well,
But I mean, it's-
think
and
there
it's
should be
not-
consequences for that.
Yeah.
So what,
And I know like Mac was at my property, every night, trying to pursue it and do, what they could. But I'd say by the time Mac got one moved, here's 25 other people that come rolling in that Mac was
you can keep
chasing,
Mike
and
Worthington busy all night pulling cars in now.
so,
So, well, I'll just leave this here for you guys, and maybe y'all can talk it over in the next meeting, we can come up with something.
Okay.
I think you need to take a three-pronged directive with the county and with the fair board. We can't do anything on our own
Yes,
with
you
that.
can, your residential area up there, yes, you can.
Well, let's say we find a place to park them, then you would have to look into a busing issue.
That's their issue. My issue is keep my place clean and keep cars off of
Well,
it.
that's what I'm talking about, where you have to talk to all the parties involved. You have to get everybody involved. If we can set up some type of a busing situation, let's say park them over at the, over where the State Farm Building is. That whole parking area is back there. You could park,
Where the
Farm
tractor shed.
Bureau,
yeah, where Farm Bureau, behind Farm Bureau,
So
but
my
then you'd have to
question-
look at,
So my question is that, what's that got to do with my property? That has nothing to do with my property.
so what you're asking is, how can we keep people off your individual property?
Off-
It really has nothing to do with the rest of the properties
It's not
involved.
only me, it's like him and everybody lives right in that little area there. It's everybody lives in that end. I mean,
Well,
I'm speaking-
I don't have a solution for that if people tear down,
Well, he just said
tear
he
down
got his
Costin.
signs and-
I mean, what are we gonna do? Have our armed police with guns stand in front of your property all night? We can't do that.
Why can't you? If you go that extreme, why can't you? Now, that's kind of extreme what you just said, so.
Well,
I'll
it's
go
kind
along
of,
with
well,
what you
it's
just
kind of
said.
an extreme that you're
Okay.
asking us to take
So-
over your personal
So
property.
you want us to call a record service every time there's some car there that we don't want there?
That is your
That's your
right.
right.
Yeah, that's my right, but I don't want to cost nobody no money.
Well, I don't wanna cost anybody any money either, but on the 4th of July day, my
That's
house
one
is
day,
a
Bruce.
mess.
One day, Bruce.
Yeah.
This is a week.
Yeah?
One day don't equate to a week. One day's
And is
Friday,
it that bad all week long or just Friday and Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
It's a tough spot, but it's not something that has happened now. This has been growing over years and years
It
and years.
has, but you don't have every teenager driving to come meet his buddy who's driving by himself, who come meet another teenager driving his car. You know yourself, you see those teenagers, the one person in the car, going to the fair to meet their buddies. I mean, that's their right, to come in one car, it's their car. But the other part is our rights too.
Well, like Bruce said, maybe we can get together
Okay.
and see what to come up with and see what the solution is. And I'm like Bruce, besides inventing some property and a big parking garage, which is not going to happen, but I mean, we've got some ideas that we need to look at. We put a but that's all we can do, is try to fix the problem.
Well, would you guys try to come up with something next meeting? Next meeting, that's a month. If you can't think in a month, you can't get it all. That's all.
Or even if we come up with a solution though, and the fair board's not on
Yeah.
Well, you guys run the city, the fair board doesn't run the city.
They
You
run,
guys
they
the
run
city.
their property though.
But it's within the city, so they gotta go by our rules too.
But, I mean,
I mean, we can make 1,001 excuses for them. All I want is just something done.
I I don't know an answer
Yeah,
to, other than just
I
saying.
don't
we
even
can
know if we could come up
discuss
with
it
an answer in 1 month. I don't know of any answer.
I
Well,
don't
unless you,
either.
unless, like I said, you get with the county and the fair board, and everybody try to come up with a solution of some type. I don't know.
I mean,
Because if we, let's say, if we do set up a parking area, once that gets full, then people are gonna park on your yard anyway. It doesn't matter. I mean, all you're doing is diverting most of the night's traffic until 7 or 8 o'clock before the lawnmower races start, and then bam, everybody's gonna just pull in anywhere they want, wherever they can. And there's nothing we can do about that. Unless we start towing cars. I mean, that's the only thing I know.
Well, it's not the best bet, then, start towing. And then they're gonna come back and say, so why you tow my car out of here?
Yeah, and then we're gonna have another headache.
Alright, we're gonna move on with the agenda. Next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve them. I looked over them.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Stephen Brennan,
Yes.
Jamie Gillum,
Yes.
Joretha Hill,
Yes.
Bruce Mance,
Yes.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
John Norman.
Yes. Richard, I'm sure you probably got another meeting to go to, so if you wanna go next, how about it?
I've got a resolution here for a $177,000 grant that Mr. Bentley was able to get for the city last year. We're just now getting it here for the resolution to adopt this memorandum of agreement. And read this.
Sure. It's more or less a, resolution, of the City of Greenup accepting the agreement approving the MOA, authorizing amendment of the local budget, and authorizing the representative to sign all related documents. Just more or less just a standard resolution.
Water line on Kentucky Route 1.
I was gonna say, is that the money we already spent?
It's not been spent yet, but it's already spent.
The state's
They're
spent it
ready.
already.
Yeah,
That's right,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
We know where it's going.
Yeah, it's a standard memorandum of agreement. That's nothing unusual.
Is there a motion authorizing me to sign it?
I'll make it.
I have a motion by John, is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
That is the, like you said, the bottleneck on Route 1.
Yes, sir.
Roll call.
John Norman,
Yes.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Steve Brennan,
Yes.
Bruce Mance,
Yes.
Joretha Hill,
yes.
Jamie Gillum.
Yes.
There you go, sir. You have anything else?
Just an update on the Siloam project is, they're probably 50% more or less on laying the pipe in Siloam. So they're making really good progress with the good weather, and, things are happening in Greenup County.
I would say at this point in time, if the weather holds out, that, we'll probably be flowing water to Siloam sometime in the month of December.
Oh, good deal.
Possibly even before.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Do we have how many tanks do we have to?
I'm not sure,
I haven't asked Jeremy, lately how many he's come in. I can find out though.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is the AEP franchise, and I'll turn it over to our counselor for that.
Every 15 years, the power company needs to renew its franchise. They're the only ones that'll give you electricity, so there's never any competition for it. But law requires that we sell it, so I just need someone to ask me for the first reading so we can move along with that process and sell the franchise so people in Greenup can keep having electricity, which I guess everyone's in favor of. I'd be happy to. An ordinance, the City Council, of the City of Greenup, Kentucky, providing for advertising and sale of a franchise authorizing the owner thereof to own, maintain, construct, and operate electric power transmission and distribution lines upon, along, over, and under the streets, thoroughfares, alleyways, sidewalks, bridges, public ways, and other public places in said city. That's your first reading, and you don't need to have a vote on that. We'll have the second reading, I hope, at a special meeting, so we can go ahead and get this sold, and everything will move on without a hitch.
Next item on your agenda is the purchase a utility truck on state bid contract. You guys have those in front of you. Don't pay any attention to the picture, as Roger Harris has highlighted in blue on the first page. That's not the truck we're talking about. It's just a 350 Silverado crew cab, it's a work truck, bed included. I don't need to run through it. It's pretty self-explanatory. I will tell you that the 2021 diesel that we bought, crew cab, with utility bed, we paid $55,000 total for it in 21. And if you look now, a lesser truck on state bid contract is $77,842.50. So, and we're looking at least 6 months on delivery. And it will be replacing the one that Frederick drives and whomever rides with Frederick on that day. They've been having serious issues out of it. It's becoming more of a money pit than anything, so just another cost of doing business. It's like everything else, going up.
Okay, so where are we gonna get the money from?
Come from your water account.
From the increased rate on water? That's what
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
be
be?
part of it, yeah.
'Cause I didn't think we just had that money laying around somewhere.
We haven't even started billing for it yet.
Yeah. No, I meant money to buy a vehicle, just
Okay.
outright, you know.
I could pay cash for it tomorrow
Out of what?
out of the water account.
Oh, we got it like that? That's okay. I thought we didn't have any money. For some reason.
So this one's a gasoline, not a
It
diesel.
is.
And this is for 2024, you said, right?
Correct.
Going through this bond commercial, you give you a discount.
Yeah, it's on the state bid contract.
That's what I didn't understand either. Could you explain that a little bit?
Sure, the state puts out a whole list of items, each year for bid. And the only thing we doing was we piggybacking off the state at their price. So whatever the state's buying it for, that's what we're buying it for.
Which means you don't have to bid it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is it a dually or just a single?
Just a single.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What's the Bachman Fleet Cycling Program that he says to ask him about on the front?
That's probably standard email, be my guess.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah.
trying to get you to keep talking, get more money out of you? Okay.
Exactly.
I didn't know if that was something that could lead to possibly,
And, price
Okay.
is set through the state, so,
gotcha.
So
Just
it's
curious.
that price no matter what.
right.
Yeah. I mean, it just says, ask me about the Bachman
Yeah.
Fleet Cycling Program. I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah, that's how you find out things.
Yeah, it says easy program saves you money. But, I mean, if that's a cheaper price, which I've priced trucks, that is a really reasonable price, even though it's a huge number. So,
Well, the truck itself is only 55. It's all everything else that you're
Yeah.
putting into it.
that they gotta have for different things they do.
Utility bed, the brakes.
I'd say from a dealership, you're probably talking at least 90 or 100,000, or over 100,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think honestly, the problem is, if you try to go a cheaper route, you're just getting somebody else's junk. Somebody else has ragged it out and they've,
At this point in time, you are correct.
So we need a motion to purchase it.
Yep.
I'll make it.
I have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is there any more discussion?
It has a towing package on it, right?
It does.
Okay, that's all I have.
Also comes with a 2,000-pound, lift that comes out of the tailgate for the sewer pumps and stuff.
Well, that's great.
When we pull it in. Is there any more discussion?
For a single wheel on the rear, that's about as much equipment as you could probably get on a truck.
Yep.
To work with,
Yes.
what we need.
Roll call.
John Norman,
Yes.
Bruce Mance,
Yes.
Doretha Hill, Jamie Gillum,
Yes.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
Steve Branham.
yes.
Next item on the agenda is police cruisers. I can tell you that the black cruisers that we have been, had for years, they're coming to the point of end of their life cycle. They're starting to cost more than what they're really worth. We talked to, on the state bid contract again today with Jeff Taylor. And if we gave him a PO today for police cruisers, we're looking at minimum 1 year. Right now, the only thing that they have is, he's 100% for sure, trying to read my own handwriting here. Oh, I'm sorry, all-wheel drive, 6 cylinders, and they're 42.2. But he said, he understands that we like the V8s better, but he cannot guarantee the V8s like he couldn't guarantee it when we bought the last one back in January, and we just now got it. But those black cruisers, it's time to get rid of those and upgrade your fluid a little bit. And these will be bought on the state bid contract too, and you're looking, given a PO now, and you're not looking to pay for them until 12 months, 13 months, maybe longer.
So how many are you looking at?
Looking at 2.
Are these cars really like the Durango?
They're like the Durango, I'm sorry. They've actually done away with the Dodge Charger, and Angie spoke with them down there today, and they're not releasing their sedan until after the first of the year. So we don't have a clue if it's gonna be a Ford, if it's gonna be a Chevy, we don't know.
Plus all the union workers are on strike or in the process of it, so it might not even happen then.
Very possible.
Yeah.
You said 42 too.
Yes,
That's for
in that neighborhood, more or less,
that's for the Durango.
yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's just the base car though, then we have to go and get it.
Yeah, then you have to get your cage and your radars and,
So you're asking, you're looking probably now what, $3 grand, $4 grand?
probably a little bit more than that, probably more like 7,500 times your
7,500.
decals and all that stuff.
Okay.
So about 50 altogether, give or take.
Yeah, rough number, yep.
100 for 2.
Good rough number.
And again, do we have the money for that?
Yes.
Similarly equipped. I wonder what the difference is between a sedan and a SUV like a Durango.
Just size.
No, in price wise.
I don't remember what we paid for the Chargers back whenever we bought them, but
It'd be totally different.
Base
than-
chargers
Oh,
are
it'd be-
early, like
It'd be total,
30,
it'd be,
30.
I was on council when we bought one of them, and I think it was in the high 30s or 40s.
I think it was like
I
38
don't think
something.
Yeah,
they're
I
base.
mean, honestly,
I think they're a police package and
that's
Everything's
that's kind of
upgraded
surprising
on
after all the
the factory.
inflation. Because I remember when we bought those black ones, I mean, it was close to 40.
Yeah, well,
So that's not a bad setup for.
That's not a big upcharge from what it used to be.
Yeah.
Hey, Lundy, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not a base vehicle. It's upgraded police
yeah, it's a police
Yeah.
package.
package.
Right.
Police
It's just not like your regular
No.
Dodge Durango you buy off the street.
And then we would just bid out or surplus out the black ones.
Yes, except for one of them. I'd like to keep it back and fix it up and make fix it up the best we can, make a, fire chief's vehicle out of it.
That would be nice.
That's his job description's getting ready to expand quite a bit.
Too bad we didn't get that old Trailblazer. We could hook him up.
How many black ones do we have? Two, three?
Do we still have that thing? Do we really? Oh, I thought we got rid of that thing years ago.
And things have been put out for bid for several times.
So, you say he's got 6 in the works of the Durango all-wheel drive 6-cylinders?
No,
Forward
I was reading Angie's handwriting here and it said 6-cylinder,
Oh,
not 6
Yeah.
vehicles.
yeah.
They're all-wheel drives at roughly 42.2.
And it'd be a year to get them?
Yes,
And we wouldn't have to pay till
at a
then,
minimum.
We'd have to pay for them then,
No.
and now, till they come in.
Now, if we
Sounds like we might wanna order them, go ahead and order 2 of them.
if we make the decision to make that purchase today,
next year.
does that lock in that price in case it doesn't
Yes.
jump exponentially after the union workers get their stuff worked out and everything just goes outrageous?
Yep.
I think we ought to go ahead and start that process to get it at a reasonable rate.
All it
Make
takes
the
is a
motion.
motion.
I'll motion.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion?
As long as we got the money, I have no problem with it.
Absolutely, I mean, we need it for them to be effective, and they need good equipment to work with, so.
Roll call.
Jamie Gillum,
Yes.
Steve Brenham,
Yes.
John Norman, Mark Harris,
Yes.
Jaretha Hill,
Yes.
Bruce Mance.
Yes.
That's all that's on the agenda. If someone wants to make a motion to adjourn.
I just wanna get a couple of updates.
Sure.
Beside my house, where the yellow sign says slow children's playing,
Uh-huh.
it's the McConnell's property. There's been a mud hole there for the last 3 weeks. I saw blue paint on the road. I didn't know if the city spray painted that or if it was a gas company. I don't know who done it. what it
Blue
was
would have
done.
been Roger Harris marking it.
Huh?
Blue would have been Roger Harris marking it, and he probably dialed 811 to get it located,
Okay.
and then probably got a leak there.
Yeah, it's.
But I'll
it's-
follow up with him in the morning.
It's not on me, it's on McConnell's side, and I told, when we told Junior, he said he reported to Roger, but I hadn't seen nobody over there, to look at it. But I said, it has to be a leak because it's been too hot, it would have been dried
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
by now.
I'll find out where he stands at with it in the morning.
And also, I want to commend again our city police for monitoring the stop signs and the traffic. But a couple of weeks ago, I was at the four-way stop sign on Winifred Street, getting ready to turn to go down in the bottom. And I don't know the city employee's name. I know it's in the face, but the stop sign was red. In the water truck.
I will address that as well.
get anybody in trouble, it's just that
Sure.
y'all should
yeah.
abide by the laws.
That's right.
I mean,
Completely.
Before we close, Linda, could I get could we get an update on, I'm kinda curious about, if you got to send a letter out for that Biggs edition?
Biggs Edition, you'll have to remind me what that is.
It's that property out there on, Seaton Avenue.
The one that we wanna clean up?
Mm-hmm.
That was the one Gary Wrote.
Gary Wright, I think I did send that to him, and I don't think I heard anything back one way or the other. I think we determined he's the one to know it, and I didn't hear anything one way or the other.
Okay, so,
But I'll write that down as a thing to do when I get back to the office, and see
Okay,
if someone got back with me on that.
okay, good, I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Sure.
And also too, I haven't checked, but how is the fire station coming along?
Actually, they moved in Friday and, started putting up the poles. Today they put the purlings up and measured for rafters. And, I'm sure he's probably got rafters ordered by now. Probably looking at a week to 10 days, I'd say, for the rafters to come in, but slowly but surely.
Now they're working hard on it.
Yeah.
I heard them all morning.
Well, I hadn't actually been over there personally to look, and it's my fault, but I just think from time to time, just get an update on how things are going.
Yeah.
So we'll know.
Yeah, I stopped by today, it's looking really good.
Is there anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Roll call.
Mark Harris,
Yes.
John Norman,
Yes.
Stephen Brenham,
Yes.
Doretha Hill,
Yes.
Bruce Mance,
Take that long.
Jamie Gillen.
Yes.
Good job, Lacey.
That's just in my seat.